Hi guys, it's Renzap and I'm on my Scoundrel Realtalk doing Taral 5 as a healer, and I am joined by Shadow Tank and 2 Sages DPSing. The Sage is level 40, so in my opinion he kinda overleveled the dungeon or flashpoint. But it's all good because I think he's helping his guildie, one of the Sages. Since he's level 40 and kinda overleveled the flashpoint, he doesn't take as much damage as he should be, meaning I don't have to really do anything, and I don't have... I mean, I have most of my talents that are really helpful by now, so I have a lot of regeneration. So I just put up my hots and I just keep my diagnostic scan on him when I'm bored, but later on I get kind of too bored, so I end up just DPSing sometimes. The only other time I actually heal these guys, since the tank has great aggro on him, is when they use Noble Sacrifice, like this guy right now. It's a Sage skill, I think, and it's like life tap. It exchanges a percentage of their life for force power, or whatever you call their little bar. So that's pretty cool. I didn't really do anything much. I would have skipped this whole linear trash mob path, but sometimes people want to see it, so I just kind of left it in. It probably takes up a quarter of the video, actually. Maybe even more. So yeah, I'm level 31 now, and I got a couple new skills. For healing, I have Emergency Med Pack. It's basically a instant, not free, since it uses upper hand heal, just an instant quick heal, and if the target is something like below 30%, I think I get the upper hand back, and it's basically free actually if the target I'm healing is below 30% or something like that. Anyways, this dungeon's pretty cool. It's actually a prerequisite of Maelstrom Prison, I think it's called. You have to do this before you do that, since it's part of the whole story thing where you meet you know who. And oh yeah, I got Surrender. I would have used it much more in this dungeon if I had a tank that really, one of those tanks that only attack one side of a group and let the other side hit me, since he has no aggro on that side at all. I would have used that a lot, since what it does is it reduces my aggro on them, so it's pretty useful. Aside from that, this dungeon was cake with this guy. He hardly let me down. And this is the first boss, which actually is pretty annoying for the first boss. I think his name's Handler Gatan, and he has those 2 tiger things with him. What we did was we killed the tigers first, I think because they don't have an aggro table. I'm not too sure, since I only ran this dungeon flashpoint about 2 times before this, and I never really paid attention since I was DPSing. So yeah, like the tank says, he wants us to kill the ads first. Since we have 2 sages, it's easy. They're all, well, they should be way not in front of the mobs like that. I'm not sure if they have a skill that needs them to be in melee range, but it kind of makes it kind of... Actually, it's good to stand close, since the tank can pick up the ads really quick, since they have no aggro table. I mean, their table is dynamic and it switches around, so the tank has to keep picking up the ads. So yeah, that's kind of smart actually. I don't know why I degraded that strategy. When I ran this the other time, I had a sentinel and a guardian with me and a commando healing. This fight took like 15 minutes or something. I don't even know if the Sentinel was DPSing correctly. And it was one of those Guardians that didn't really know how to tank. I know I rant a lot about those Guardians, but it's only because I have a Guardian and I tank on him sometimes. And it gets kind of annoying. This fight took like 15 minutes, since I don't think the Sentinel was doing his rotation right, or wasn't even doing the right rotation, wasn't even using the right skills, and Guardian tank, just a tank, not doing that much damage. But this Shadow's just destroying them, since he's 40 and Shadows hit hard. He's doing work. And since the ads are down, we're taking down this next guy really quick. The handler. See, aside from him, I have full focus this whole run. I kind of wish I had a harder or a less competent tank. I mean, not to make fun of tanks, since I like tanks and they're cool. I mean, tanking and healing are one of the most fun things to do in a dungeon or in an MMO. But if I had a less competent tank, it'd probably be more fun, since this whole time I'm just spamming whatever, not really paying attention. Since he hardly took damage at all. The only time they took damage was when there were switches from the aggro table, and the sages had really bad timings on their noble sacrifices. Since I think once or twice they used it, and right away the mob's on them while they're using it, so they're taking more damage than they should have been taking. So I had to spam my heals on them. See, when those mobs come out, you can instantly kill them by just gathering them around that thing I just clicked on, and it instantly just kills them, like, one hit. So that's one thing that you should be doing, which we didn't do. We didn't bother to do the bonus objectives, other than the killing ones, since everything's in the way. So yeah, it was a really quick run. It took about 40 minutes minus the cutscenes, because the cutscenes are really boring, I usually just spacebar them like to hell. But people like reading the story, so I don't mind if people actually take their time, since this game has a really nice story and should be read, should be watched. And now we're actually coming up on the next boss really quick. This dungeon has like 6 bosses, I think. 1, 2, 3, 5, I think, actually. And this is the next one. His name's Captain Shivanek. It's a little duo boss thing. He summons an ad called Ripper, and you want to kill Ripper, I think, since he does a lot of damage. But when you kill Ripper, he enrages. I'm not sure if it's an enrage, but something like that. But I'm not sure if it does that much damage. But on this tank, he hardly did damage at all, since he's pretty boss. As you can see, the whole fight, I don't even do shit. All I do is spot heal the sage who's noble sacrificing a lot. I don't actually see the other sage, C-Dub, whatever his name is, using noble sacrifice. So that's pretty cool. I mean, I think he should be using it, since maybe they're different specs. I don't know. I'm not a sage person. So you kill him and you get this chest. I don't think I get anything from here until the end. And as always, I'm gonna have to skip this cutscene since it takes forever, plus I can't really record it since Fraps lags my little thingy when I click on it. So yeah, we're almost at the base part where we take down a couple more bosses. Aside from healing, I really do enjoy DPSing on this guy. And I almost aggroed that guy. I think we're already nerfed by the time this video's out. And that's not too good. I mean, I noticed after the nerf that they, like, a lot of ops still do a decent amount of damage, so it's cool. I didn't really have a problem with the ops beforehand, but on my Guardian, I just popped my trinket thing, resolute, whenever I got stunned, and I popped my shield barrier, saber barrier thing. I'm not good with names. And I could take them down really quick, and then if they reset the fight, I just try to kite them around. I still have a bunch more cooldowns anyway. Anyways, back to Scoundrel. I'm actually leveling as a DPS. I don't know if I hear that healing is good to level as Sawbones, but it's so boring since I leveled my Guardian as defense, and I already went through that whole shitty damage phase. So I don't really feel like going through it again. So I try not to level as Sawbones. I try to level as Scrapper, which is pretty cool. But I'm just waiting till I get my shoot first skill at 36, and that will make my whole Scrapper thing complete. So we're crossing this bridge, and after this bridge is the base that we have to go to. It's really quick. And you can use these, they set up a bunch of these explosive things beside the mobs. Pretty handy. Makes the little bridge a little bit easier. If you look around, this game has pretty nice graphics. I mean, some people don't like the graphics, but if you actually take the time to look around, the environment is pretty nice. And they really did their job. Lots of detail. So usually I'd be spamming Underworld Medicine, but this whole dungeon I hardly use it unless it's a really one of the more intense fights. I don't even use it during trash at all, I don't think. The only time I use it on trash is when the Kalara Sage guys and the Shadow forgets this small mob group that kind of ninjas him. So yeah, the only time I use Underworld Medicine during trash is when Kalara spams her or his what's it called? Noble Sacrifice, sorry. I really am bad with the names. This run took really quick. My other run, which was not completed since we had a emergency maintenance, was probably like an hour and 15 minutes or something, since the people just looked around and tried to figure out where to go, and the whole thing's linear, and I don't understand why they were looking around and stuff. Well, this is an optional boss, I think. You don't have to fight him, but he's easy as hell, so why not? His name is Dr. Can't see his name, Zaren, I think. That's all he does. You kill him, he summons those ads. Every I think certain percentage he summons ads. I'm not too sure. I'm pretty sure he's optional, since you can probably evade him and nothing really affects the dungeon if you don't fight him. And I get a scatter shotgun, Scattergun. Pretty cool. You drop 2 things and I equip it. You can skip this part, but I guess you decide not to. You can go over to the left and walk up that little hill. But we decided to kill stuff. Nothing wrong with that, since I would argue if he takes a shit ton of damage and he doesn't tank everything, but he tanks everything. Everything. One of the first tanks that doesn't cause any problems and actually knows what he's doing. And I didn't know those guys ran up to me, so I ran away a little. Even as a healer, I do a decent amount of DPS. Just critting these guys. He really does take no damage. I mean, it's amazing. I don't know if he has a self heal, but he doesn't take damage. I know he's 40, but these guys are only what, 10 levels below him. It's not like he's 15, he has all that gear and stuff. The only other time I ran this, other than the time I was DPSing on my Scoundrel, was on my Guardian, and I was running a friend. And I was 50, so I didn't really experience anything. These things are level 32, so he's only 8 levels ahead of him, and he's mitigating a lot of damage. Plus, I think he's getting shielded too, so that helps a lot. And I don't get shielded, so I'm sad. Next boss is coming up really quick, soon. Oh yeah, the whole dungeon, I forgot to mention, this Jedi entity tries to mindfuck you the whole time. I'm not sure if it's gonna come out in the audio, since I don't think you can hear it, but you can see it in the chat. It was just there a few seconds ago. It's just a little Jedi ghost trying to break your mind or something. And this is he compliments me, and this is the next boss. He's fun. His name is JD44 or something. He randomly chooses someone and hits them with his rockets. We try to spread out a bit so we don't get hit by his AoE all at once. This is kind of hard if you're a group with 3 melee DPS, since the melee DPS have to stand close to the boss. See, as you can see, the AoE's dropping on C-dub, but he's just standing there. If we spread apart, we're not all gonna get hit by the AoE, and we won't have to always move around. Other than that, it's pretty easy if you don't stand in the AoE. And the only other thing that hurts is his little rockets crap, but it's easily handled. This is the first time in this dungeon, I think, that I actually had to heal. Think about who to heal and stuff, since everyone's taking damage. When I did this on my Scoundrel, and it was Guardian, me, Scoundrel, and the Sentinel, we were getting hit a lot, pretty hard. Luckily, the Commando has a AoE heal early in the game, so yeah. We were getting pelted by the AoE non-stop, since the tank didn't really move the boss, and the boss picks a random person, and usually 3 out of 4 times it's one of us. gonna have to skip this again. Basically, it's just the little general douchebag guy just telling us that he's gonna blow up the place. And Master Oteg, the Yoda kid, not kid, the Yoda Master guy, telling us to get out really quick, get the computer. So while we're running through this facility, we're gonna be bombed non-stop by the Empire's own men. So pretty douchebag move. Bomb your own men and profit. That was his little thing. Again, it's just a bunch of shadow raping everything. If I ever do another character, it's probably going to be a shadow. They look very appealing. Pretty cool too. I kind of, at some points I kind of wished I made a shadow, but I want to heal as well, so, and I already have a tank, so I picked the Scoundrel. Plus Scoundrels are fun. We got guns and we get to walk up to people and shoot them in the face with a shotgun. Always dreamed of doing that. In these little rooms here with second floors, there's usually a chest up there. So we check both rooms that have these little rafters. Sometimes they have cool stuff, sometimes they don't. We don't luck out, and we end up getting just greens. Sometimes you get epic, sometimes you get blues. I've never seen an epic, but it's just a hypothesis. Killing more imps. So yeah, aside from the dungeon, I noticed the story of Guardian and Scoundrel, Smuggler, Jedi Knight and Scoundrel. No, not Scoundrel, Smuggler. Are totally different from each other. Like, it's expected, but I think I'd be fighting a lot more evil people. I mean, I am fighting evil people, but I'm fighting them for stuff I want. So Smuggler's pretty cool. They actually, I would have thought that they made them like a stereotypical nice guy, but you go around banging everyone you want and ripping people off, stealing their ships. It's a good change from Jedi Knight, whereas I ran around being the stereotypical hero, killing all the Sith, and I end up killing that one guy in the end. That one guy that gave me a lot of trouble. I don't want to say his name since some people might be leveling a Guardian and they might not want to know what lies in the end. Some reason we aggro the two elite guys at the top. I don't know how that happened, but it's pretty lame. If it was another tank other than this guy, or someone else as good as this guy, I'd be shitting my pants. But fortunately, I don't even go below like 70% focus during that whole little accident. We go up here and there's one of those big chests. Oh, we do get something good. I don't know, I lied, my bad. I just checked it out because I was kind of bored. I think I was confused there. I thought the tank was still back there. I guess I didn't see him walk back. And this is the last boss of this flashpoint. Name's General Edikar. And he basically summons ads you want to kill the ads because they hurt. And I think if you don't kill him within 5 or 3 minutes, he enrages. So he has an enrage timer. You don't want to face that. And he does that little rapid fire barrage thing. And you don't want to be standing around someone since it hurts, as you can see. If you're going to use your life tap or your noble sacrifice, try to time it at a good time. Since sometimes these guys didn't really time it well and they were getting hit by that big barrage. And I had to heal them through that while they were noble sacrificing themselves. And I'm pretty sure the missile, the gun barrage, I don't know what to call it, is interruptible because I do it later near the end since I tried to kill him. Since these guys stopped attacking him. So yeah, these sages are really strong. Take him down really quick. When I did this on my Scoundrel, we wiped and we couldn't finish the dungeon. I was gonna use that footage, but we wiped and the server reset, or server went down. We couldn't do it. So yeah. It was basically a healing problem or something. The tank wouldn't pick up the ads. He just stand there attacking this guy in one spot. See, I kicked it. I'm not sure if I kicked it before, but I did kick it. Well, anyways, that's Taral 5. The first part of the 2 dungeons. Maelstrom's next. See you there.